Hello and welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. Alright, we're holding our breaths, we're waiting to hear the outcome, which is... And we heard it. With a total of 2 prayers, the great draconic gods have heeded the group's wishes and strike down Tiger. No! This can't be! Similar to Ox, Tiger's last words were cut off. I couldn't watch again. I had to turn away. I wasn't the only one. In Tiger's final thrashing, painful moments, all but 3 had their backs to her. Was this disrespectful? I didn't care. Watching someone as positive as Tiger die painfully like that would break my psyche. I just couldn't handle it. I heard Pig nervously pacing in circles. Pig, are you alright?
Oh, me? Just fine, super fine. Only having a mental breakdown over here. Nothing to worry about. Seriously, what the hell was that about?
For the record, Tiger wasn't my designated vote. Yes, of course, Monkey.
Dog?
Wasn't mine. Are you saying that both traitors voted her independently? How likely is that? I mean, it's not that unlikely. Very much not so. In all likelihood, this means the two have somehow managed to contact each other. If they can vote together, this plan is essentially dead in the water. No, this is all my fault. That's not true. Yeah, that is indeed not true, Sheep. Was a good plan. Well, it was an okay plan. It was the best anyone could come up with, to be honest, so you're certainly not to blame there. If anything, the other people are to blame for not coming up with a better plan. Just not good enough. So, what are we to do now? We've spent all this time talking about what we must do, but on both occasions we've utterly failed to counter the traitors. Gotta say, guys, this is a real B+ effort right now. Shut the hell up. God, you're so annoying. Things are always better when you're silent.
Rooster, you've contributed the least here, so you've got little ground to stand on.
My lack of speech is a contribution. Dragon herself just said that things are better when I'm silent. So you're welcome. Rooster's right. We need a new plan.
So, the new plan is, right, no plan.
Huh?
Plans suck. Plans aren't useful at all. Plans that would kill Tiger and Ox. If we just sit around and say exactly what we're going to do, the traitors will be able to completely read our moves. And all this time we haven't found any trinkets whatsoever. So now our plan is not to have a plan.
Kind of stupid, but I can understand where she's coming from. You know, the point is, unless you have a fail-safe plan, then it will always be better for the traitors not to know what your plan is. Obviously still, like, barely any better than having a shit plan, but, you know, might as well do that until someone can come up with a better one. Okay, but what does that mean?
I don't know. Vote no one. Vote someone random. Find a partner and both of you vote the same person. Be completely random, untrackable. Then maybe we'll stumble into a tie vote.
This sounds like a horrible idea. Nah, let's do this. Nick's right. This obsession with plans have completely killed our searches and they've been seen through twice. Everyone split up and don't be predictable. Dragon shouted this and immediately stormed off in a random direction. Pig followed suit, and before I knew it, the group was mostly split up. I was sort of with Snake. Just completely abandoning logic and leaving things to chance seemed like a really bad idea. But the die was already cast, as it were. It was best to accept things and look for trinkets. I went into a nearby classroom and did the typical search. At this point I was starting to feel like a professional school inspector. A school inspector who didn't end up with a lot of results. Even though I was able to search through it relatively quickly, no trinkets were found in the room I looked in. I started to look for another room, but as I went down the hallway I saw something suspicious. Snake was eagerly explaining something to Pig, who was nodding. Huh? Do you remember who the people were that I thought would be interesting as traitors? A bit farther down the hallway, Horse was leading Sheep into the library. Hey, what are you guys doing? Both Snake and Pig looked startled when I called out to them, and Snake hurriedly brought Pig into the library. Wait, what the hell is this? I rushed over to the library door and tried to open it, but the horse held the door closed. Looking in, I saw that bunny, horse, pig, sheep, and snake were in the same room. Oh, I see what they're doing. Snake thinks... Well, I don't know if Snake thinks so. But Snake is trying to make people, sort of rile people up against me. Make them accomplices, maybe? What's going on here? Don't look at me like that.
Ignore her.
What on earth? Apologies, Mouse, but being weak-willed will lead to the worst possible results. To avoid that, drastic measures are needed. In an instant, I realized what was happening. They had decided that the only way to ensure they weren't voted to execution was to form their own majority and vote away everyone else. I cried out as loud as I could. Everybody, get over here! This group is trying to kill the rest of us! Before long, dragon, monkey, rooster, and dog had run over to my location. What the hell is this, you assholes? Dragon yanked on the door handle, but horse held steady. Get out here! Pig, you traitorous bitch, I thought you said not to make a plan.
If I didn't join, they'd get someone else.
You know you're going to have to come out sometime. You can't be in the same room when you use your tablet.
The library actually has a small separate room inside.
Yes, that's still only 2 rooms and you've got 5 people.
Hence why we chose it as a base.
Oh, they're going after each other, I see. Shit.
Damn, that was a total of 2 cycles before we went full Lord of the Flies.
True. I was expecting 1 cycle though, so I guess well done us. Dragon slammed on the door again. Everyone, I would propose our first target should be Dragon. She stands a chance of breaking into our sanctuary.
No, she doesn't.
Guys, quickly. Let's all vote Snake. Mouse? It's now us versus them. We don't have the luxury to be soft. We need to focus our votes all on him.
Say no more, oh god. I am on it.
It's distressing, but if we don't, we may die. That's actually an interesting thing now. What if the traitor is in one of the groups? What is the outcome? Arguably, if both traitors are in Snake's group, they would all vote for, well, one of us in the other group. And it does not make much sense for the traitors to vote for someone in their own group or not vote at all, or to sort of throw the vote off, unless the Snake isn't a traitor. In which case, if they in that group all know that we're going to vote Snake, then it would be a good idea to have us 5 vote Snake and one of the traitors withholds. Problem comes if the traitors don't know each other yet. If they do, that's certainly a great strategy, but if they don't, then they run into the problem of maybe they vote the traitor off, or the traitor does a similar thing and you know, foils their plan. If we have traitors in our group, then it still makes sense in this case. I'm pretty sure it still makes sense to vote for Snake in this scenario and, you know, bring up the tie, because we don't actually know who Snake's group is voting for. So the traitors themselves can't risk it in that case, because they would be at or in danger of being voted out. But yeah, it's just quite interesting.
Why not?
Yeah, I'll show that asshole. We had agreed to vote for Snake, so we split up and went to different rooms. After voting for Snake, I returned to outside the library. You better watch yourself, Snake. Don't think we're going down without a fight. Did everyone vote Snake? Of course we did. Why wouldn't we? Like clockwork, an announcement played on our tablets.
The prayers of the groups are conflicted, and so the great draconic gods will stay out of it.
So what? Does that mean it was a tie? Must be.
I guess this isn't too much of a surprise. All 5 of us voted for Snake, and the 5 of them voted for Dragon.
Oh yeah, I remember now. They did actually say they were voting for Dragon. Never mind. Which means this is curious. What does that actually mean? It must mean that if the traitors know each other, they must both be in the group inside the library. That's guaranteed, because otherwise, if one of the traitors was outside, they would have voted for Dragon. The alternative is the traitors don't know each other, at which point I think it would be safe to assume that both of them are split up right now. And both of them did the opposite of what their group was told to do. Because that's the only reasonable way to think of why, this would happen. All sort of real hypotheticals, and we don't have enough information to be certain, but it all kind of hinges on if the vote earlier, where 2 prayers went to Tiger, was coordinated or sheer luck. I do agree with Snake that that it's not guaranteed to have been coordinated. It's not very unlikely that happened, but at the same time, higher percentage chances that it was. In which case they would know each other. In which case they're both inside the library right now. Who is inside the library? Snake, pig, horse, sheep, and bunny. Yeah, that would be a fitting group to have 2 traitors. I don't actually, looking at it, I do not think any of these guys are traitors, just from my impression. Rooster I can maybe see, but I do think it's unlikely, and the other 3 I just can't see. Maybe Monkey if they really want to throw a curveball, and again, would be a very interesting scenario if they really want to throw a curveball us as the traitor. But yeah, other than that, I can't see any of these.
They really tried to kill me, eh?
Dragon started banging on the door again.
Try it, bastards, and see what happens.
Horse held the door firm. My, how interesting. Unintentionally, we have stumbled across the solution we were searching for. What do you mean? By ensuring destruction upon a loss, we have put the traitors in a situation where they can't veer away from a tie. We are currently operating on the very real assumption that if either of our groups gains a 5-4 majority, the majority will systematically vote out the minority. With that in mind, no matter which side either traitor is on, not voting for who they said they would will result in their death. That is only well, is it true in every case? Depending on which side the traitors are on? Yes. Yes, it is true in every case. We have achieved an actually stable equilibrium. So, what you're saying is that everything's good now? To put it simply, yes. Once we became willing to murder innocents, our bargaining leverage greatly increased. I wonder, if this was the outcome Snake foresaw, then I must commend his foresight.
Don't give that asshole that much credit. He tried to save his own skin, and it just so happened to end up working out.
So, will they hold themselves up in there? We've got to handle the legwork of finding the trinkets. Hardly seems fair. But if it's what's needed of me, I guess I'll be off. Dog started to walk away, but before he left, he turned back to us. Vote Snake again. Will do. And like that, he was off.
Watch, I'm gonna find a trinket in no time flat.
I'll also join the search. I'll look around here.
I'm gonna stay guard outside here. I don't like the idea of these creeps going off to do whatever they want.
I think that's unnecessary, but whatever you want. Just like that, we broke off again. I looked all around a nearby classroom. I was determined to find a trinket. We just needed 4 more. 4 more. I could find one that would be a huge help. Unfortunately, time passed and hints evaded me. I realized the prayer cycle was coming to an end, so I took out my tablet and voted for Snake. For once, I felt confident in how this would turn up. Words said immediately before catastrophe, but just in case, I decided to check back in on Dragon and the other group. Dog had the same idea as me. Hey Mass, any luck finding trinkets?
I wish.
Loser. What, did you find one? Dog took a token out of his pocket and displayed it proudly. Right on. I guess I've got a nose for this sort of stuff. It's incredibly infuriating that you can find this stuff while seemingly not trying. Why, jealous? A little. Anyways, anything happen with those 5 dragon?
Nah. As far as I can tell, these chumps are content holding themselves up like that and voting as a group. I doubt this cycle's result will be much different than last cycle's.
As if spurred on by her words, our tablet said another announcement. With a total of 7 prayers, the great draconic gods have heeded the group's wishes and strike down Snake. Yep, sort of what I was expecting. Which does mean that both traitors are inside Snake's group, and Snake was apparently not one of them, which is very interesting. So we've got pig, horse, sheep, and bunny. I can definitely see bunny. I can definitely see pig still. I could also see sheep. Horse kind of just seems too dumb. And I could see pig playing the dumb role, maybe. But at least we have confirmation for that now. Yeah, otherwise it makes no sense. If any of the traitors were in our group, we were already voting Snake. Why would they change their mind, their group, if none of the traitors are in there? It would be ridiculous. The only possible way for that I could half imagine, it would be ridiculous and crazy, but if Snake himself is a traitor and voted himself out, I still don't know if that's quite possible. And I don't see a reason why he would do that. But that's just a theoretical possibility. What?
The hell?
That's unexpected. I raced over to the library's door, and through the window I saw a cursing Snake lashing out. Sure enough, he was dying. Despite keeping out Dragon before, the group inside the library rushed out in a panic. I guess they didn't want to stay with a dying man. Rooster and Monkey also ran back over here, confused by the announcements.
What the hell? We had such a good thing going. Why would anyone vote against Snake?
Seriously, who did it? Don't you understand? All 4 of us are done for now?
Not me.
Me either.
Well, it had to have been some of you.
It had to be one of you fucks.
Thanks, Dragon. There is one more possibility, which is actually kind of funny in and of itself. If, I mean, it would kind of, betray the whole point of this, but if the Jade Emperor himself just decided, oh, fuck it. Let's have 2 of them vote for Snake. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they really did it or not, does it? Just add 2 votes. Why not?
But that doesn't make much sense. Traitors would know they were signing their own death warrant.
7 prayers? Why would the number be 7 prayers?
Were both traitors inside that group? That would be the logical assumption, Mouse.
No, even that wouldn't explain it.
Why?
If you were going to betray that group, you wouldn't actively vote Snake, you'd just vote someone other than the group.
Maybe. Not necessarily, unless you wanted to specifically get rid of Snake. Whether because he knows anything that you want him to be silenced for, or whether you just want him out to begin with because he's smart enough to pick up on what you're doing. It doesn't necessarily mean you'd have to vote against someone other than the group. If you did vote for someone other than the group, by the way, it wouldn't change anything now, would it? It would just mean that Snake gets executed anyway. That's another point, but the 5 votes are coming in for Snake irrespectively. So if the other group all votes against Dragon collectively, then whether you vote for Snake or not for Dragon is completely irrelevant. It doesn't change the end result. Either way, Snake dies, so you might as well vote for Snake. The assumption that what Mouse is currently saying is true is kind of a false assumption.
We should have heard 5 prayers, but there were 2 extra.
2 extra?
Suddenly, it all clicked. They're morons.
Agreed, but elaborate. Instead of answering, I ran back into the cafeteria. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me you can... I mean, I don't think that people are actually dead. It could be a case. I don't think people actually aren't dead. That's what I meant to say. I don't think Ox is suddenly alive again. It could be. Well, there's 2 scenarios that Mouse could be alluding to. Scenario A, Ox and Tiger are alive again. Scenario B, which I think is more likely, you can still vote for people on the tablets of the deceased, and it doesn't matter who actually operates them. That can certainly be true. Which would then be interesting because it actually doesn't confirm where any of the traitors are. Because you've got multiple options here. And I would assume whoever picked up the tablets wouldn't be so stupid as to carry them with them. Right now, they would have been hidden in separate rooms. Additionally, it means that necessarily only one person needed to have been out here, and the other person could well be a traitor inside that group, which would be risky. But then again, the traitors don't need to survive together. They can't survive together in the first place. So a traitor betraying the other traitor is nothing out of the ordinary. Unless they know each other, in which case it would be out of the ordinary because they could have been, framed. Which again, is not something you'd really do though, unless you were actively dying in the first place, because then the other players would know you were the traitor as well. Point being, we now have no idea if that's actually the case, which I assume it is. We have no idea who the traitors are again. I checked Ox and Tiger's bodies. Sure enough, the tablets were missing. There we go. Fucking goddammit. What's wrong, Mouse? The traitors stole the goddamn tablets. What? That's something we already knew. Just because someone's dead doesn't mean that tablet stops working. Did you already know that? Someone realized that, and so as soon as they had an opportunity, they swiped the dead's tablets. Which means they were able to use the extra 2 votes to kill Snake and break the stalemate. Oh, I wouldn't have thought about that.
Wouldn't you have? Or did you do this?
Did you even listen to her? The person who grabbed the tablets was clearly in the other group.
Yeah, that's right. This proves that at least one traitor is in your group.
Jeep's right. But that means you guys shouldn't just vote us all dead.
Tch, you think that's gonna work? You were trying to vote us all dead and you're just gonna pretend that didn't happen? You're gonna try and stop us from getting some revenge?
Dragon, I swear it wasn't personal. We were just desperate. If we didn't do anything, we were all going to be executed one after another. By banding together, there were decent odds that both traitors were in the other group. Yeah. The odds weren't that great, to be honest. Which very much could be true. If we killed both traitors, at least the 5 of us could survive. I'm not hearing anything worth forgiving. I agree. It's a classic case of mob mentality. The fact that there were 5 of them collectively absolved them of blame. So what do we do now? Again, I was unsure of what to do. We're going with Pig's plan.
Chaos? That wasn't a good plan though.
Well, I can't think of a better one. We just need to find 2 more trinkets. 2 more. So let's just do that.
I guess that's kind of a plan. So I'll kind of do it.
This feels like conceding, but fine. Random voting it is.
More importantly, we need to find minor trinkets.
Yes, we've established that. I've already fulfilled my quota, so expect you lot to pick up the slack.
Quota, don't tell me you intend to quit working.
I didn't have time for such arguments. I just needed to find trinkets.
Trinkets? Trinkets? I felt like calling out to the trinkets, which was a sign I was losing my mind. But I didn't get to search for long before it was the end of a prayer cycle.
Random voting, eh?
I voted for... Don't vote for dog. What the fuck are you doing? Someone I suspected might be a traitor. Then I went back to searching for trinkets. I didn't need to think about that shit. Who cares that you could totally be executed here? Nope, no need to worry. Not a single cause for concern. Not even worth listening to the tablet announcement happening right now. It's likely a tie.
That is not likely at all. It's very unlikely to be a tie.
Actually, that would actually be interesting as well, to figure out the probability of this being a tie. It's very unlikely, I think, but maybe if I remember to, I'll write that down. Work out tie. I'll try to work it out afterwards, after recording. I'll put up the number here to show you what the percentage of a tie is.
gut feeling is it's incredibly unlikely, somewhere like 10% in that sort of range. But it might be much higher than that. I don't know right now. 3 people had already died. This wasn't anything new. I just had to accept the batshit scenario we were in and move on.
With a total of 5 prayers, the great draconic gods have heeded the group's wishes and strike down Rooster.
5. Well, that is certainly quite high. That is not an expected outcome of random voting. It is possible, don't get me wrong, and if everyone just voted against someone they hated, then being Rooster probably increased the chance, to be honest. But, that does sound to me like there was some ill meant, cooperation going on. And another death. So random strategy wasn't... Wait a minute. 5 prayers? Even if you factored in a traitor having 2 extra tablets, that's way too high a number to be a coincidence. Oh yeah, there is 2 extra tablets on a traitor. That makes the voting more interesting. I don't think I can quite work out what the percentages is, because at that point it's not random anymore, clearly. And with a traitor having 2 extra tablets, it's actually 3 votes guaranteed to one person, which means the chance of it high must be incredibly low, because you're already guaranteeing 3 votes on one person. If the traitors know each other and are working together, you're guaranteeing 4 votes on a person. That's probably what happened then. So in this case, 5 prayers isn't actually that uncommon, is it? You basically have 2 people working together, gathering 4 votes to Rooster. That just means that 1 out of the remaining 8 had to have randomly voted for Rooster. That's not unlikely at all. I rushed back towards the cafeteria. And there I saw it. Bunny, pig, sheep, horse, and dragon, standing together, looking guilty. Next to them was Rooster's corpse. Bunny had picked up and was checking out his tablet. Your group did this, didn't you? We didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, we did. We reformed the voting block.
God damn it, you guys. Dragon, you too? I'm not dying here. Whatever it takes for that to happen, I'll roll with it.
The fact of the matter is, most that we know for a fact that between you, Rooster here, Monkey and Dog, there's at least 1 traitor.
What the fuck are you on about?
We know it wasn't Dragon because she was standing guard outside of the library for most of the cycle and she didn't have an opportunity to go and collect dead people's tablets.
Granted, yes. Under the pretense that your guys' group actually didn't pick up the tablets before forming a group, which is entirely likely. Likely. It's entirely possible. The assumption that the tablets must have been picked out by the group outside is flawed.
It turns out that Rooster didn't end up being a traitor, but that just narrows the scope down to 3. Once we get rid of you 3, well, we'll sort things out from here, depending on what we find.
You're okay with this? Mob-based murder? You think the fact that there's 5 of you doing it changes what it is?
What other choice do we have?
Making this fair? Maybe? Actually thinking for a change? Maybe? Not making lynch mobs? Maybe? I mean, I'm not too surprised. Horse just seemed dumb to begin with. I hated pig from the start. Sheep is just gonna follow what everyone else is saying. And Dragon, well, I did like her a bit, but she seems like an asshole. And it's no wonder that she'd do anything she can to survive. And doesn't care about anyone else, basically.
Like it or not, there are 2 people actively trying to kill the rest of us.
Yes, and one of them could very well be among your group.
We don't get to know who they are. If we just sit around afraid or hitting an innocent, we're just sitting targets waiting to be devoured.
Yes, and you just happen to hit an innocent. Congratulations! Very well done.
I, for one, have things too important outside of here that I'm willing to forfeit my life without a fight.
What he said. We have obligations. We don't have a choice. It's not my fault. Everyone would do this in my situation. Well, pure fact that not everyone is doing this while everyone is in your situation clearly means that you're wrong. I didn't have time for their justifications. They couldn't shove away the blame in whatever ways they wanted. They were going to murder us all. Which leaves us with the only option of actually going to team up again. Gotta get Dog. Who are the others? Wait, we don't have enough numbers, do we? We've got Dog. And... Wait, we're still enough people. Who am I missing right now? I'm totally blanking. Wait, they weren't with Bunny, were they? Okay, so we've got Dog and Bunny. And who's the last person? There should be one more. There should be 8 people still remaining. I'll just continue. I could despair, but that wouldn't help. Oh, Mouse, yeah, of course. So we just need to get Mouse, Dog, and Bunny together. Irrelevant of if they are traitors or not. It literally does not matter right now. We need to get them together and vote that group out. Some way, somehow I'd survive. First things first, I needed to gather allies. I searched the building for a monkey and dog. After I gathered them, I explained to them the situation. I mean, it's really our fault for not figuring something like this would happen. Yeah, our lives are on the line, but totally don't group up and try and save yourselves. In times of extreme anguish, groups provide structure and safety to desperate minds. By the way, actually, if I remember correctly... Wait, I'm not... No, actually not. I was thinking, like, the prerequisite for the defeated was just for less than 9 people to cross the finish line. But I think it actually did specifically state everyone else would be executed if any of the 2 traitors win. So there's no team strategy going on there. That's possible. It makes sense that, given the horrors we've seen, people would be willing to stoop to such levels if everyone is going along with it. I don't care whether or not they're justified. We need to team together and find out some way to prevent them from killing us all. Isn't there one little problem with our plan, though? One of the 3 of us is also trying to kill us all. Not necessarily. Bunny? Mouse, monkey, dog? I'm sorry. I feel really shitty about what I did. Now's not the time for that. Explain what you're doing here. The group was talking about next steps and it suddenly dawned on me. Were you right that the traitor who killed Snake definitely came from you 3? Not at all. After all, we assumed that the tablets were taken after the tied votes, but when was the last time we looked at them? Exactly. It's nice to have 2 police officers, or 1 police officer and 1 ex-police officer in the group. It means that they're not all idiots. It was possible that someone gathered them before that and used them to frame the people outside the library. When I thought about it like that, things started to make sense. I also realized we should look at Snake's tablet. But when I ran over to his body, it was taken as well. And I think the people with the most opportunity to do that were the people inside the library when he died. So basically you suspect that someone in the library group is a traitor. It was already possible that one of them could have been a traitor anyways. But I think the one who has Tiger's and Ox's tablets, the most dangerous one, is Pig. Pig? You're joking, surely. I'm for real. You might not know it, but she was actually the one behind gathering the group in the first place. She chose the location to be the library, which means she could have had the tablets in there ahead of time. And she was one of the people who suggested reforming this group. And you wish us to vote for her execution? I'm in. Yeah. That loose logic being your basis for it? I think his logic isn't the thing that's the problem here. I think that the problem here, like looking at it from a neutral perspective and not from the perspective of me wanting Pig dead, is that, why can we trust him? He was in that other group. There's no reason why he must necessarily be speaking the truth. He may well be, and I do believe him, but it's not necessarily the case. Look, at this point, it's clear that we're not getting out of this with no blood on our hands. And also, yes, he is. I mean, we are in the situation where we have to trust him. There is no other option. If we don't, we're dead. We have to make moves against people who we think are the traitor. And I think Pig is the traitor.
But even if we go along with this, the vote would be 4-4. Well, it wouldn't be actually, because they have more tablets. No one would be executed. Not true. Bunny displayed the tablet he had picked up. I took Rooster's tablet after they died, remember? With this we have 5 tablets, which is totally gonna save us compared to their 7. We can vote her out. That's... well... I mean, we can use it. The problem is, it does not necessarily help us. But yes, let's use it. I really, really hate the idea of killing someone potentially innocent. However, we have no choice. We can only hope she betrayed us first. Kind of a funny thing to hope for, huh? I hate this. Oh. I hate this. I really, really hate this. But letting Pig keep forming these groups for our own safety will only lead to destruction. This way we'll end it. And we'll trust Bunny is right with his suspicions. This theory makes plenty of sense to me. This is a plan I find morally questionable, but I suppose there must be times one puts their morals aside and focuses on the task at hand. We're right to do this. We don't have a choice. Let's not forget the real monster is Brian for making us go through all this. More importantly, we should hurry up and do it. The cycle is going to end any minute now. Bunny wasn't wrong. We quickly split up into separate rooms so we could use our tablets. I input my run action for the round, and for the prayer cycle I voted against Pig. I hoped we were doing the right thing here. It wasn't half a minute after inputting my actions that round 6 ended. I heard an announcement on my tablet.
With a total of 5 prayers, the great draconic gods have heeded the group's wishes and strike down Pig.
That is now very interesting. Because that means either the other group had some issues and didn't all collectively vote, or both traitors are in our group. Because it means that as long as the other group all voted collectively, then the 3 extra tablets weren't used. And you would only not use those so as to not make yourself out to be in this group. So, yes, to reiterate, unless their group fell apart before, we have both of the traitors with us. Which is not the best situation to be in. Interesting. Very interesting. But what... is there a different way the traitors could have handled this if they weren't in our group? What if one... what if we only have one... no, that still doesn't make any sense. Well, it could be the case that we only have one traitor in our group, who is the traitor who has all the extra tablets. In which case, there could still be one traitor in the other group who is just unaware of what's going on. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. And so it was done. It was Pig's fault for trying to kill me. She started these group voting murders. I was right to do this, wasn't I? I mean, you know, there is the saying two wrongs don't make a right. But, you know, wasn't I? I struggled to answer that. But at this point, looking for those answers would do me no good. I'd already sealed most of my emotions. Guilt would have to join the club. I'd deal with my fractured psyche when I was safe. More importantly, I should go and check on Pig to see if she really was a traitor. Would you know that, though? That's another interesting point. Would you? Well, you would know that if you looked at their tablet. Because it would say their personality, so you could actually check, yes. Checking her tablet should make... Yes, I know, Mouse. I went down to the cafeteria with Monkey, Bunny, and Dog. What is the thing is, what's guaranteed here is that as long as their group didn't fall apart, Pig might have still been a traitor, as the one who was just unaware of everything and had no extra tablets. But Bunny's story then definitely doesn't check out. Unless, and that's a very big unless because that is pretty unlikely, but unless she actually couldn't vote with her extra tablets for some reason. There, dragon, horse, and sheep were mourning pig. They were not pleased to see us. What did you all do? You killed her.
Oh, now we're the bad guys. Of course, sheep. Yes, sure. Fuck off.
Surprised you show your ugly muck here, Bunny, seeing as you totally sold us out.
Oh, yes, because you totally didn't sell us out, dragon.
Of course. Oh. Guess I can't expect more from a traitorous rat bastard.
I didn't mean.
Where do you get off saying something like that? You also switched sides to join the library group in the first place. That's fuck you.
Yeah, that's not the important part.
Was she a traitor?
No. We already checked the personality on her tablet. She wasn't victorious or defeated.
No. That means you killed her for nothing.
Oh, fuck off, sheep. Just fuck off.
And I suppose there was a lot of meaning in killing Rooster.
Yeah, exactly, Monkey. Tell that to her.
Don't think I forget about that. Don't think I'll forgive that.
Mad about Rooster's death, huh? Funny, I didn't take you for a fangirl.
He was certainly a trying man at times to deal with. However, I feel like I knew him well enough to say he was a pure soul at heart. Having him killed for no good reason greatly upsets me.
So, what's the play now?
Everyone, listen up. Things have gotten real fucked.
Oh, really?
Obviously. But there's no easy way of resolving this. There's just not going to be a safe play until the traitors are gone and dead. It's clear they're willing to do whatever to stay alive. The only answer I see is a simple one, but it's one I don't think people will like.
What is it?
Group debates on who to eliminate. Right here, we'll just talk about who's most suspicious. Argue it out. Then we take turns entering the bathroom over there and casting our votes.
Actually... No, I don't know why that just came to me now, but... Why not just share your personality on your tablet? Just show the others. If you're innocent, there is nothing you lose by doing that. Especially, well, the thing is we're slowly entering the stage where there's so many dead tablets, or dead people with tablets lying around, that we might actually be close to where the traitors outnumber the innocents in terms of pure voting power, which is very dangerous. But we still, I think this is the only real safe way. I can't see anything else. Give me a second, there's 5 dead people. Assuming Pig's tablet is safe, there is 4 tablets that are unaccounted for, but one of them is in Bunny's hands, we know that for sure. So technically there's 3 tablets that are unaccounted for, meaning 2 traitors have a voting power of 5 in theory, and all the other people combined also have a voting power of 5, so we're at the stage of a tie. So the deciding vote would go to whoever Bunny votes for. If he's a traitor, the traitors outnumber the innocents. If he's an innocent, then it's the other way around. Which is actually quite interesting. After someone dies, we check the tablet and see whether or not they were the traitor. Repeat until we're done. Are you serious? That's crazy. And your suggestion?
Huh?
You just coasted along for a while with no real opinion, haven't you? Well, now's your time to stand up. If you can think of a better way of handling things, speak up. What exactly do you think you're doing? I'm asking Sheep to explain herself. Got a problem with that? Actually, I do. Why are you wasting time like that? Seem fun.
I think a Socratic seminar seems like a fairly logical method of handling this dispute.
I don't hate the idea. It seems a little brutal, but that can hardly be helped. It's only a good idea if you're a traitor. I'm just putting that out there. No, it doesn't seem like a good idea. Are you telling us to debate who to murder? It's barbaric. I don't want any part of that. And it's not necessarily the reason why I don't want any part of that, I just don't want any part of that because it seems like a garbage idea.
It's amoral, it's creepy, it's wrong, there's 1,000 things I could say against it.
Those 3 weren't the ones I had in mind, although they are right.
Alright, well, what's your idea?
Idea?
You don't have one, do you?
I pointed mine out earlier, it's just I can't really say that right now because the game doesn't let me.
In that case, we're going to go with this one. There's no way we can outplan the traitors, so instead we're just going to outvote them.
Which you cannot do because they have more votes. Unless we actually take Pig's tablet and give it to someone trustworthy. How do we decide who's trustworthy? We don't exactly. You don't like the arguing, you can stay silent. See how much good that does for you. That does you for the votes. And so, like it or not, the shitty praying game has reached its final stage. Perhaps this was the inevitable conclusion based on the rules presented. The logical culmination of everyone's distrust and self-interest. It all led to a brutal popularity contest with deathly stakes. If there ever was a time to put on a game face, it was now. For my sake and the group's, I had to put forward the best arguments I could. So, who's suspicious to start with? I distrust everyone who went along with the library group voting plan. It was ill-conceived and selfish. But most importantly, it was the perfect cover for a traitor. I thought we already talked about how one traitor was outside that group. For one, Bunny already brought up how that was inconclusive proof. For another, even if one traitor was outside the group, that doesn't make things any less suspicious. If we're going to bring up old suspicious stuff, then let's talk about the very first vote, the one that killed Ox. We know from that at least one traitor has to come from horse or dog.
Is that so? I know I'm not a traitor. If I wanted to kill you all, I'd do it without the stupid voting system.
Are we sure that the first vote really tells us anything? For all we know, someone like Tiger or Snake was a traitor and was their doing. We haven't had a chance to confirm their tablets, have we? Besides, we don't know if that was even a result of a traitor. There could be some reason that a non-traitor didn't vote for Dragon. Or hell, maybe Ox and Dragon met up and decided to not vote against each other and then Dragon betrayed that agreement. You are talking a lot of sense, Bunny. Now why the hell would I do something stupid like that? May I remind you of about, a good 10 minutes ago where you would still do everything in your power to somehow survive? Yes, that's why. If we're talking about suspicious, have we forgot who set the stupid item number aloud in the first place? Bunny did. That's huge grounds for suspicion. We already went through that. There was no way Bunny could have done that out of malice unless he had a great guess on it. Like we already said, I didn't know what the item was then. How could that have been done out of evil?
Bunny's right. I don't think it's very likely that someone like him would use these methods if he wanted to kill us all.
Gee, thanks. You're a real Carl Leone, aren't you? Carl Leone?
It's a reference for cultured people, trust me.
Should I add something to the conversation? What to say? I trust Monkey and Dog. Yes, I trust them more than Dragon. I think it's less likely that Monkey and Dog are the traitors.
Oh, how sweet.
I appreciate the sentiment, but could I ask why? Because I like you? They were both the selected voters in the second vote, right? But someone other than the people they chose got 2 votes. Which means that the 2 traitors must have coordinated their pick. Or random chance. Woo. Okay, but even if that's the case, couldn't one of them have lied about who they voted for? I suppose they could have. But wouldn't it have been better for them to have said they randomly selected Tiger and that one of the traitors got lucky? I guess.
Well, for my money, I think it's Sheep. You would. Now, why would you say that?
Because I have such impeccable instincts.
The question is why you're accusing someone like Sheep. She hasn't done anything to anyone.
Got a real white knight here. That's exactly my point. She's a floater, to put it in reality TV terms. She's always in a group, good at convincing other people to do things, very meek. If she was a traitor, her only chance of getting away with it would be thanks to a voting system like this. She just seems like the traitor type. Not necessarily wrong. Call it a hunch.
I call it bullshit.
Guys, I think the cycle's almost up. We need to quickly put in some votes. Bunny was absolutely right. Quickly, we cycled in and out of the restroom, taking turns to make out votes. Personally, I decided to vote for Dog. What the fuck, Mouse? Why? I even said I trust Dog more than... Oh, God. Something didn't sit right with me about him, and I kept remembering the votes from the first cycle. A couple moments after we had all voted, a familiar announcement played on our tablets. In the next episode. See you then. Bye.